Chapter 4 Timeline and Sources of History Question Answers from Class 6 Subject Social Science. Question 1 How do we measure historical time? Answer Historical time is measured through various methods, primarily using calendars and timelines. Different cultures have developed unique ways of marking time, often based on significant events such as the reign of a ruler or the birth of an important person. Today, the Gregorian calendar is widely used, with years divided into the Common Era CE and before Common Era BCE. Major periods of time are also divided into centuries, 100 years, and millenniums, 1000 years, helping us place historical events in a chronological order. Question 2 How can various sources help us understand history? Answer Understanding history involves piecing together information from diverse sources. These sources can be categorized as first, archaeological sources. These includes artifacts, tools, pottery, and other objects excavated from ancient sites. They provide tangible evidence of past human activities. Next, literary sources. These encompass texts like manuscripts, poems, plays, and historical chronicles written in the past. They offer insights into the thoughts, beliefs, and events of historical periods. Next, artistic sources. Paintings, sculptures, and other forms of art reveal cultural and societal values, as well as daily life practices. Oral sources, folklore, legends, and oral traditions passed down through generations capture historical narratives and cultural heritage. Scientific studies, modern techniques like genetic analysis and climate studies provide new perspectives on historical events and timelines. By combining information from these varied sources, historians can create a more comprehensive picture of the past. Question 3 How did early humans live? Answer Early humans or Homo sapiens lived as hunter gatherers, relying on hunting animals and gathering edible plants and fruits for survival. They lived in groups or bands, which provided mutual support and protection. Their lives were marked by the constant search for food and shelter, often residing in temporary camps, rock shelters, or caves. Early humans developed basic tools and used fire, which greatly improved their chances of survival. They also created art as evidenced by rock paintings and made simple ornaments. Over time, as the climate changed and the ice age ended, they began to settle near rivers, cultivate crops, and domesticate animals. This led to the development of agricultural communities, which eventually grew into more complex societies with leaders and established networks for trade and communication. Think about it, page 60. Question 1 What is the earliest memory you can recollect? Do you remember how old you were at that time? Those memories together are a part of your past, maybe going 5 or 6 years back. Answer My earliest memory is from when I was around 3 years old. I remember sitting in my grandmother's kitchen, watching her bake cookies. The warmth of the kitchen, the smell of the baking cookies, and the feeling of anticipation for the sweet treat are still vivid. These memories are a part of my past and contribute to my understanding of my family traditions and the comfort of those childhood moments. Question 2 How do you think understanding the past will help us understand the present world? Answer Understanding the past is crucial for making sense of the present world for several reasons. First, learning from history. By studying past events, we can identify patterns and consequences, helping us avoid repeating mistakes. For instance, understanding the causes and effects of past conflicts can guide current diplomatic strategies. Second, cultural awareness. Knowledge of historical events and cultural developments help us appreciate the diversity and evolution of societies. This fosters tolerance and respect for different cultures and traditions in today's globalized world. Third, contextualizing modern issues. Many contemporary issues have roots in historical events. For example, current political boundaries, social structures, and economic systems are often the result of historical processes. Understanding these origins provides context for addressing modern challenges. Next, technological and scientific progress. The history of science and technology shows how past discoveries and innovations have shaped today's advancements. Recognizing this helps in appreciating and furthering scientific endeavors. Next, personal identity and heritage. Knowing our personal and collective histories contributes to a sense of identity and belonging. It helps individuals and communities understand their place in the world and their connections to others. By learning about the past, we gain insights that inform our decisions, shape our perspectives, and guide our actions in the present and future. Page 63. Let's explore. Such calculations are simple, but there is a catch. In the Gregorian calendar, there is no year 0. The year 1 CE follows immediately the year 1 BCE. Draw a simple timeline marking every year from 2 BCE to 2 CE. You will see that because of the absence of a year 0, only 3 years have passed between those two dates. Answer. To illustrate the absence of a year 0 in the Gregorian calendar, consider this simple timeline. 2 BCE, 1 BCE, 1 CE, 2 CE. Between 2 BCE and 2 CE, only 3 years have passed. 2 BCE to 1 BCE, 1 year, 1 BCE to 1 CE, 1 year, and 1 CE to 2 CE, 1 year. So, to calculate the number of years between a BCE date and a CE date, you should add them but subtract 1. In the above case, 2 plus 2 minus 1 is equal to 3. To find the number of years between a BCE date and a CE date, you add the years together and subtract 1. This is because there is no year 0. For example, if you want to calculate the number of years between 2 BCE and 2 CE, 2 BCE plus 2 CE minus 1 is equal to 4 minus 1 is equal to 3 years. Practice a few examples with your classmates. Example question. How many years ago was the Buddha born if we are in the year 2024 CE and the Buddha was born in 560 BCE? Solution. 560 BCE plus 2024 CE minus 1 is equal to 2583 years ago. This method helps accurately calculate the time span across BCE and CE dates. Let's explore page 65. Create a timeline stretching from 1900 CE to the current year and place the dates of birth of your grandparents, parents, siblings, and yourself. Also, mark the years that the 20th century CE begins with and ends with. Answer. Family births on timeline 1930 grandparent Dadaji, 1936 grandparent Dadiji, 1965 parent father, 1970 parent mother, 1995 me, 1998 Abhinav elder brother, 2000 Astha younger sister. Breakdown. 1901 to 2000 CE is 20th century. 2001 to 2100 CE 21st century. Page 66. Let's explore. Can you collect information about at least 3 generations of your family on your mother's and father's side? Create a family tree with your parents, grandparents, and great grandparents. Find out their names, what they did for living, and where they were born. Also, write the sources from where you got this information. So, friends, for example, you have to write in column 1 name, then second column occupation, third column place of birth, and fourth column source of information. Grandparents paternal, that is from your parents side, father, so Dadaji, occupation police, place of birth Bulandshahr UP, source of information family stories by father. Then Dadiji, occupation homemaker, place of birth Amba UP, source of information family stories by father. Next, grandparents maternal, that is from your mother's side. First, Nanaji, occupation teacher, place of birth Jaipur, Rajasthan, sources of information family stories by mother. Second, Naniji, occupation homemaker, Place of birth Alwar, Rajasthan. Source of information family stories by mother. So, friends, similarly, great grandparents paternal, great Dadaji farmer, Bulandshahr UP, oral history from grandparents. And similarly, I have written for great Dadiji, great Nanaji, and great Nani ji. So, friends, you can note them down. Page 67, think about it. Have you ever seen old coins, books, clothes, jewelry, or utensils in and around your house? What type of information can we gain from such objects or from old houses or buildings? Answer: yes, I have seen old coins, books, clothes, jewelry, and utensils at home. These items tell us a lot about the past. First, coins show us old rulers and how money was used. Books give us stories and knowledge from the past. Clothes reveal fashion trends and social status. Jewelry shows craftsmanship and cultural importance. Utensils tell us about daily life and cooking habits. Old houses and buildings also reveal architectural styles and living conditions. These objects help us understand how people lived, worked, and thought in earlier times. Page 68. Let's explore. There are a few images of different sources of history on the next page. Who and what do you think the objects show? Write down in the boxes next to the images any information that you get from these objects. Answer: first image. Who likely depicts a ruler or deity from ancient times. What? The coin shows an image of a seated figure, possibly a king or a religious figure. It can provide information about the economy, art, and religion of the period when it was minted. Second image: who represents figures from ancient society, possibly depicting a scene from daily life, mythology, or a significant event. What? This carved stone relief shows intricate details of human figures engaged in various activities. It gives insights into the cultural, social, and artistic practices of the time. Next, who, symbol associated with ancient India, particularly the Maurya Empire. What? The lion capital, adopted as the national emblem of India, represents the pillar of Ashoka. It symbolizes power, courage, and pride, providing historical context about the Mauryan dynasty and Ashoka's rule. Question 7, page 70. Let's explore. In the above picture, look at some activities of early humans in a rock shelter. Which ones can you recognize? Give a brief description for each. Answer: hunting and preparing food. Description: some individuals are shown preparing animal hides and possibly cooking meat over a fire. This indicates their reliance on hunting for sustenance and the importance of fire for cooking and warmth. Next, tool making. Description: a few people appear to be working with stones, likely crafting tools. This activity highlights their skill in making tools for hunting, cutting, and other daily tasks. Next, gathering and processing food. Description: individuals are seen collecting and grinding food, such as grains or nuts, using stone tools. This reflects their foraging habits and early agricultural practices. Next, art and communication. One person is depicted painting or carving images of animals on the cave walls. This activity signifies the early forms of communication, art, and possibly religious or cultural expression. Next, community and social interaction. The scene shows a group of people working and interacting together, indicating a sense of community and cooperation essential for survival. Page 71. Let's explore. Observe the scene on the next page. It depicts an agricultural community from a few millenniums ago. List the main activities you can identify. Answer: farming. Individuals are harvesting crops, likely grains or wheat. This activity indicates the cultivation of land and the practice of agriculture. Next, shepherding. A man is herding sheep with the assistance of a dog. This shows the domestication of animals and livestock management. Next, cooking and food preparation. A person is sitting near a cooking area preparing food. This suggests the preparation and cooking of meals using agricultural produce. Next, building and maintenance. One individual appears to be constructing or repairing a hut. This highlights the building and maintenance of shelters within the community. So, friends, here is farming, this is shepherding, next, cooking and food preparation, the next, building and maintenance. Next, water collection and use. The presence of a river and individuals near it suggests the collection and use of water for various purposes, such as irrigation, drinking, and cooking. Next, weaving or crafting. There is a person engaged in some form of crafting, possibly weaving or making tools. This represents the creation of goods needed for daily life. Next, childcare and community living. A few women are engaged in activities while taking care of children, showing the communal aspect of raising children and the close knit nature of the community. Think about it, page 72. Both in this earlier picture of a rock shelter and in this one, men and women are given certain roles. While they may appear to be natural, they are not necessarily correct and do not cover all situations. For instance, in a rock shelter, women may have helped prepare colors for painting the rock or may have done some of the painting. In both scenes, men may have done some of the cooking or may have helped take care of children. Keeping in mind that we have only limited information, think about such roles and situations and discuss in class. Answer: rock shelter scene. Gender roles in the rock shelter, assumed roles. Men are depicted as hunters, tool makers, and primary food preparers. Women are often shown gathering food and taking care of children. Possible real roles: women may have participated in hunting, made tools, and painted on the cave walls. Men could have gathered food, prepared meals, and cared for children. Agricultural community scene. Gender roles in the agricultural community, assumed roles. Men are shown farming, herding animals, and building structures. Women are depicted cooking, weaving, and caring for children. Possible real roles: women could have been involved in farming and herding. Men might have participated in cooking, crafting, and child rearing. Limited information and diverse realities. Limited evidence. Possible real roles: women could have been involved in farming and herding. Men might have participated in cooking, crafting, and child care. Limited information and diverse realities, limited evidence. Historical depictions are based on limited archaeological and anthropological evidence, often leading to assumptions about gender roles. Diverse realities. In reality, roles were likely more fluid and varied based on community needs, individual skills, and situational requirements. Gender roles could have shifted frequently, with both men and women contributing to various aspects of daily life. Modern perspective, challenging stereotypes. Recognizing the fluidity of roles helps challenge modern stereotypes about gender. It emphasizes that capabilities and responsibilities are not inherently tied to gender. Inclusive understanding, acknowledging the diverse contributions of all community members leads to a more inclusive understanding of history. Historical gender roles were likely much more flexible than often depicted. By considering the broader context and recognizing the limitations of our evidence, we gain a richer and more nuanced understanding of past societies. Questions, activities, and projects. Question 1. As a project, write the history of your family or village if you live in one, using sources of history at your disposal. Ask your teacher to guide you. Answer: project history of my family. Using old photos, documents, and family stories, I traced my family's history. Paternal grandparents: Raman Singh, a farmer from village Kakura, and Vidya Devi, a homemaker from village Singori. Maternal grandparents: Sohan Lal, a teacher from village Rataudi, and Vimla Devi, a homemaker from village Vidya Sarai. Paternal great grandparents: Gaurav Singh, a carpenter from village Talpur, and Ganga Devi, a homemaker from village Fulera. Maternal great grandparents Surajmal, a merchant from village Mangang, and Radha Devi, a homemaker from village Bulbuli. Sources include old photos, letters, ID cards, and oral history shared by family members. Question 2. Can we compare historians to detectives? Give reasons for your answers. Answer: yes, we can compare historians to detectives for several reasons. A. Investigation. Both historians and detectives investigate events. Historians research past events using various sources, while detectives examine crime scenes and evidence. B. Evidence gathering. Historians collect documents, artifacts, and oral histories to understand the past. Detectives gather physical evidence, witness statements, and forensic data. C. Analysis. Both analyze the evidence to reconstruct events. Historians piece together historical narratives, while detectives build a timeline of the crime. D. Critical thinking. Both require critical thinking to interpret evidence accurately and identify biases or false leads. E. Objective conclusion. Historians and detectives aim to reach an objective conclusion based on the evidence available. Question 3. A few exercises with dates. First, place these dates chronologically on the timeline: 323 CE, 323 BCE, 100 CE, 100 BCE, 1900 BCE, 1090 CE, 2024 CE. Answer: dates chronologically on the timeline. First, 1900 BCE, second, 323 BCE, third, 100 BCE, next 100 CE, next 323 CE, next 1090 CE, next 2024 CE. Next, if King Chandragupta was born in 320 CE, which century did he belong to? And how many years was that after the Buddha's birth? Answer: King Chandragupta's birth date 320 CE, century 4th century CE, first century runs from 1 to 100 CE, and second century from 101 to 200 CE, and so on. Years after Buddha's birth, Buddha was born in 560 BCE. Calculating the years from 560 BCE to 320 CE is equal to 560 plus 320 minus 1 is equal to 879 years. Next, Rani of Jhansi was born in 1828. Which century did she belong to? How many years was that before India's independence? Answer: Rani of Jhansi's birth date 1828 CE, century 19th century CE, 1801 to 1900 CE. Years before India's independence. India gained independence in 1947 CE. Calculating the difference, 1947 minus 1828 is equal to 119 years. Next, turn 12,000 years ago into a date. Turning 12,000 years ago into a date, current year 2024 CE, date subtracting 12,000 years from the current year, 2024 minus 12,000 is equal to minus 9,976 BCE. Question 4. Plan a visit to a nearby museum. The visit should be prepared with some prior research on the kind of exhibits the museum holds. Keep notes during the visit. Write a brief report afterwards, highlighting what was unexpected, interesting, fun about the visit and the exhibits. Answer: Museum visit report. Date of visit 27th August 2024. Museum name National Museum of History. The visit to the National Museum of History was enlightening and enjoyable. Highlights included the detailed exhibit on ancient civilizations, showcasing well preserved tools, pottery, and clothing. The interactive digital displays allowed for an engaging exploration of historical events. Unexpectedly, the special exhibit on medieval armor and weapons was particularly fascinating, revealing intricate craftsmanship. Viewing original historical documents and diverse cultural artifacts provided a tangible connection to the past. The museum also featured a fun children's section with hands on activities. The guided tour was engaging, offering interesting anecdotes and lesser known facts about the exhibits. Overall, the visit was a memorable experience, offering valuable insights into various historical periods and cultures. Question 5. Invite to your school an archaeologist or a historian and ask them to speak on the history of your region and why it's important to know it. Answer. Invitation letter to an archaeologist or historian. NCERT Hindi Tutor School, Krishnanagar, Delhi 110051, 27 August 2024. So friends, here you should write your school's name, then your school address and current date. Archaeologist Umesh Kumar, Head Surveyor Ecological Survey of India, New Delhi, Delhi 110001. Dear Umesh Kumar, I hope this letter finds you well. On behalf of NCERT Hindi Tutor School, I am writing to extend an invitation to you to visit our school and share your expertise with our students. We are particularly interested in learning about the rich history of our region. Your extensive knowledge and research in this field would provide our students with invaluable insights into the cultural, social, and historical significance of our local heritage. Understanding the history of our region is crucial for students as it helps them appreciate their roots, fosters a sense of identity, and highlights the importance of preserving our heritage. We would be honored if you could deliver a lecture and engage in a discussion with our students on this topic. Your perspective would not only enhance their historical knowledge but also inspire them to value and contribute to the preservation of our history. Please let us know your availability and any specific requirements you might have for the session. We would be delighted to accommodate your schedule and make necessary arrangements to ensure a successful event. Thank you for considering our invitation. We look forward to your positive response. Warm regards, Vaibhav Chaudhary, Grade 6B, NCERT Hindi Tutor School. So friends, here you have to write your name, then your class and section and your school name. Friends, we have completed all the question answers from the chapter. If you find the video useful, kindly like it and share it. Thank you for watching.